In line with general expectations by analysts, the Monetary Policy Committee of Nigeria, of course, of the Central Bank of Nigeria, on Tuesday retained its monetary policy rate at 11.5% amid a difficult recession, citing a more pressing concern of inflation. The MPC also voted to retain the asymmetric corridor around the MPR at plus 100 basis points, minus 700 basis points, cash reserve ratio, CR, at 27.5, and the liquidity ratio at 30%. CBN Governor Emefiele also struck a cautiously optimistic tone, noting that the overall global economic outlook shows prospects of recovery. Joining us for reaction to the MPC decision is Arise business analyst Chika Mbonu. Chika, it's good to see you again.
Welcome back.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome back, full and complete.
Oh, yes, indeed. Any surprises with the decision at the MPC to retain rates where they are?
No, I mean, we said that the bulk of opinion suggests that the central bank will, the MPC will keep the rates as they were, and we're not surprised, therefore, that those rates were kept the same thing.
Okay.
Because of the underlying circumstances.
Okay. Now, the central bank governor spoke of a number of issues at length, including, of course, this extension of the 5% intervention fund. And I want to get your reaction to that. Okay. Plus,
let me just start with the major issue, or what's led to the decision.
Right.
I always in Nigeria do record that when there's stagflation, basically a stagnant growth, in this case recession, with almost a runaway inflation that is in the economy. So while a stagflation environment, and so I see Nigeria as let me use this example. As Nigeria is like a patient that has, diabetes, which is life-threatening, and also a heart disease, which is life-threatening. And so the medicine that's required to cure the diabetes or moderate the diabetes will also make his heart worse. And so the doctor has to always balance, the medicine to make sure that if he treats the diabetes, the guy doesn't have a heart attack and die.
Right.
So Nigeria was faced a situation where we are going through recession. 2 successive quarters of negative GDP growth, and consumer purchasing power is very low. Productive base is very low. Then we also have a situation where inflation is run away. Headline inflation at 15.75% as of December. Food inflation at 19.45 again. So you will find that we'll have problems with inflation. And so the policies that are required to manage recession is what? You need to expand the monetary policy, expand the quantum of money in the economy. Now, if you expand that also, it will hurt inflation.
Right.
And so CBN took the wisdom to stay in between, just like the doctor will tell you. Doctor will say, let me not, maybe I should leave the medicine at the same level
and see how they work.
Look for other, like the diet. Use the diet or the patient to moderate the policy. Just like central bank has said, let's leave the rate the way it is and use other suites of policies to see whether we can expand the productive base of the economy, stimulate demand in the economy. And that's what CBN has chosen to do. And so he kept all the rates constant to wit, namely the monetary policy rate at 11.5,
yes,
the cash reserve ratio at 7.5, and the liquidity ratio at 30%. But in doing that also, it's coming and said, as I said, the other ordinary issues, since the monetary policy tools are left constant, but the other tools that you can use to help the economy, stimulate demand in the economy, stimulate production in the economy. And one of them has to do with that. Do recall that during the heat of the COVID, phase 1 of the COVID,
yes,
the central bank, reduced the interest rate on its intervention program from 9% to 5%.
Yes.
And that was supposed to expire by March 31st, 2021. Now, the CBN, in support, in its drive for using alternative solutions to support the economy, has extended that low interest rate of 55% for the next 1 year. That's one of the things that CBN has come in, to one of the initiative that it is put in place. One other thing that came out from there at the meeting was the fact that it looked at the intervention amount other economies used compared to Nigerian economy.
Right, I read that. Yes,
And
yes.
you found out that Japan, for example, spent about 67% of their GDP, UK 45%, US 28.4%, Brazil 27.6%. Nearer home, South Africa did is 12.6%, China 11.5%. And we, Nigeria, African giant,
right,
we spent 4% of our GDP.
I think they use the word paltry.
Yeah, paltry. Yeah, paltry 4%.
Right,
yeah,
paltry 4%.
And in to stimulate the economy. And in light of that, also, the central bank, the committee has told central bank to continue to push, continue to expand these initiatives to support stimulus to support the economy. So we are going to see, I'm sure, shortly, CBN continue to announce some of those initiatives. And also that I think they have about 4 or 5 of them already existing.
Yes.
You have the creative industry one. You have the healthcare. Yes. You have the agric one.
Manufacturing
one.
Right.
You have the manufacturing one.
Right.
And so all those, CBN has said that about 2 trillion have been pushed into the economy, in light of these stimulus. And it reflected in also, we can see between November and December this year,
right,
that the credit growth was about almost 800 billion.
Correct.
In the system.
Yes.
Money supply expanded, and all that is towards using the alternative tools to ensure that you reflect the economy, expand the productive base, encourages SMEs to work and produce, and so that will reduce the gap in the deficits, and hopefully we will revert to positive GDP in a short while.
Fantastic. The central bank governor also said that they need the fiscal side to support what they're doing. What do you make of the need for that balancing up for the fiscal side to support what they're doing?
I mean, the success recorded so far has been due to that cooperation. And CBN, the governor, is saying that cooperation should continue. Indeed, he said that it should pursue its current stance of systematic synchronization of monetary and fiscal policy accommodation, through development finance initiatives. Basically, they have been working in tandem. All these initiatives we have, so far, is based on the fiscal side working with the monetary side. That's through CBN to make sure that the economy is reflected.
Chika, I have to get your thoughts on the central bank governor's passionate defense of the Ways and Means facility. He referred to the Fitch reports, which was the global rating agency that's talking about Ways and Means.
What I explained to you now is basically Ways and Means, because you see that the other economies,
they've done essentially
most central banks in the world. This is what they did. You saw what happened in the US. Japan was almost 67% of their GDP. That's what they put out in the system.
Right.
I'm sure that you can imagine the ratio of the way and means they have in the economy. Maybe single digits. UK was 45%. And then Brazil 27.5%, and South Africa did 13%. So it's all ways and means, hoping that one, the money will go into the productive base of the economy to stimulate production. Two, it also get into the hands of the individuals to stimulate consumption. So in that way, there'll be multiplier effect in the economy, and it will go around again to reduce the deficit. That's the theory of the economics.
Chika, great to see you again. Arise business analyst Chika Nbono, thank you so much for taking us through the MPC decision.